Hello and good morning, good evening. Welcome back. Welcome to Cloud and DevOps Batch 58. Before I start the session, I just want to give a quick recap on what's being covered in the previous session. Previous session, we were in the process of provisioning the entire infrastructure with a single click of a button. For some reason, something was not working. What I did was I destroyed everything and recreated, and things started operating. It was a good news, but okay, so which I cannot show you today because of my account got suspended because I made a payment 2 days back. Still these guys have not received, it seems. Because of that my account was suspended. However, okay, I'll show you something else. Okay, so sign in using root account. Okay, I don't think they have received my payment yet. What I can do is, okay, so let me try to show you. I don't do any changes, okay, but let me take a couple of action items. This is also done. Okay, let's try to update. ALB has been provisioned. So let's try to add the labels. Okay, done. So we can move this back. Okay, so to the status as completed. Target group provision is also completed. Front end needs public DNS. So this is not yet done. Private cut records are not working properly. We mitigated it. Okay, so we mitigated this by hosting private records using private IP address on public hosted zone. Okay, this is also done. Next thing is, okay, this is also working. Next add item. I have to demonstrate you because today my account is suspended. Tomorrow when I sign in, once my account is activated, I want to show you this as an activate. Okay, demonstrate RoboShop project on private VPC that we made. Okay, done. This is an action item. Next is containerize the RoboShop backend components. Okay, and deploy them to EKS. Okay. Done. Next. For this, we need to provision EKS on the top of VPC. Okay, default on the top of app VPC. Okay. Once we have the VPC in place, we are going to deploy the application. Okay. So what I'm going to do is find the entire piece of code. So first, what I'll do is I'll try to check out this branch. Okay. Because again, we are going to provision Terraform. I don't want to, I don't want to disturb the existing code, because if you want to refer, you can switch and refer. Okay, that's the main idea. So what I'm going to do is I'll check out a branch. How can I check out here? Yeah, new branch 02 RoboShop on EC2 on app VPC. Okay, done. So what I'm going to do is I'll just try to download this image. I'll publish it. Okay. Save as image. Just a second. So let's. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna call it as. See, this one I'll just copy and put it under. Let me paste it. Okay. So people git checkout. Where is the branch? This is the branch, right? Now here I would like to paste it. So what is the path? The path is this, right? So under batch 58, I just want to move this. If you have any questions meanwhile, just raise your questions meanwhile, okay? Mhm. Second. Okay, so git add. Git commit -m, adding image, git push origin, this. So you have this available. Okay, so if you want to see what's going on, you can come here and select this. That's going to show the image. Okay, where is the image? Yeah. Okay, so this has all the needed information. So let's try to add image, add image. Thing, how to add it. No, no. Oh, you need to place them. Okay. All right. I think I already made it multiple times. Ah, so what I want is Stana. Come on, how bad my memory is going. Come on, come on. Just a second, I know where to get that. Just a second. Expensive. Why am I struggling? So I think B51 or B52 is to have student project. Yes, so I got it. So I think how to place the images. Yeah, this is how you can place the image. Okay. We're almost close, but missed it. Okay, all right. Just trying to achieve perfection. I can also check it here whether it is coming through or not. Okay, so come here and try to see this. So this is what you can see. Okay, so you can see, okay, what was done is something you can achieve it here. All right, that's it. So next what I want to do is, let me attempt whether my account is working or not. Just one more try. Oh, still it is not working. But let me talk more. So what I want to do is I want to deploy application on the top of what do you call on the top of load balancer. Okay, so for that, what I want is I don't need this much big. Okay, now I don't need everything like this. So these many subnets are also not needed for me. Okay, so definitely I need two regions, but I do not want to. I don't need these many subnets. So public, web, app. We really don't need these many. Okay, two subnets are more than enough. Okay, before I proceed, anyone have any questions? Any questions? Okay, since I published this, what I'm going to do is I'll just say git checkout main. I'll do all the changes. This way, whatever the changes that I make, they still be there on the top of it. Okay, this repo holds to provision EKS and deploy the RoboShop containerized apps on EKS as deployments. MongoDB, RabbitMQ, MySQL. What is the other database? Redis would still be there on EC2. Okay. Stateless workloads or apps would be deployed on EKS. Stateless, stateful applications. Okay, that's the idea behind it. Any questions so far, anyone? Questions, questions, questions. Any questions, anyone? Okay, all right. Okay, we don't need these many databases. Let's trim this. Okay. Yeah, we don't need these many subnets. So app subnets, web subnets, no, we don't need these many. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just get rid of web. This I don't need. Done, done, done. Okay. So we really don't these many. So all I want is just two subnets. Okay. Let me get rid of everything. All I want is a single VPC, 2 or 3 subnets. Okay, we just need a VPC, which we already have. Okay, on the top of this VPC, I would like to provision public subnet. Actually, we don't need public and private. Okay, public subnet. Next is private, so app subnet and database subnet. Okay, and database subnet. So on the top of this subnet, okay, our EKS cluster will be running. Okay, so let's try to keep it. App subnet would be running on the top of it. We don't need this much big, by the way. Done. Done. Okay. Our EKS cluster will be on the top of it. Again, EKS cluster will have multiple node pools. And it will have multiple node pools. Okay, done. So this is node pool 1. Okay, so again, node pool is a GCP term. Okay, I also majorly work on GCP. That's the reason I'm using the word node pool. In in AWS world, we call the same thing as a node group. A node group is nothing but a group of nodes. Okay, but node pool, node group, anything is fine. Okay, all right, done. Okay, so any questions so far? Any questions? Okay, so let's start architecting this. Okay. Okay, just like how we have, likewise, let's try to provision an EKS module. So guys, any questions, anyone? Can someone confirm me? Srilata, Mrudula, Girisha, any questions? Okay, perfect. Let's get started then. Okay, now what I want to do is I'll just create one more module, and this module is for EKS. And under the EKS, we'll have cluster.tf. We have nodegroup.tf. We have IAM roles.tf. Okay, all right. This is something we need, and also we also need the variables.tf. Okay. Next, go and try to read it. AWS, EKS, Terraform. This is a basic example. Let's get that. AWS EKS cluster. Go with the basic usage. EKS cluster example. Okay, done. No, not here. So here I need to have the cluster, and done. So this is also IAM role. And this IAM role attachment. Done. So we also need to have the cluster role. Let's get rid of everything. Yeah, this is better. Okay, done. So this has so that we also need the IAM roles, by the way, one role for a cluster and one role for the node. Okay, whatever the role that we want, we got it here itself. This is the cluster role. This is for the EKS. So copy that and put it in the IAM roles for tester. And this is an assume rule that we want. And this is a service we need to assume for the EKS. Okay, session token service for EKS. That means you are creating a rule. We assume it to EKS. Okay. And next example, I need to get rid of this. So we also need to tune the names. EKS assume rule. Done. And this is to hello and this service you want to identify yourself to the EKS service. Done. And next. So this is EKS underscore role. Done. And the cluster name AWS cluster data.aws document dot EKS assume role dot JSON. Done. Next is EKS role. Done. This is also the same. And this is for the cluster controller. Done. Okay, and the name of the role is this. You're attaching an IAM policy to the role that you have created. Okay, so let's try to sort the cluster now. Okay, done. Go to the cluster, and here no longer this, and it's supposed to be okay. Ensure you declare env role ARN is equal to main. So what is the role that I have given? AWS EKS role, right? Done. Done. And VPC config. So we need to supply the subnet IDs var dot subnet underscore IDs. So we need to supply the IDs. So we need to supply the ID information. At this point of time, okay, I don't need web, okay, app. So all these components will be coming on the top of your instances, right? On the top of your EKS. So I really don't want even the load balancers. I don't want because I'll create them as a service. So at this point of time, I just need VPC and database. VPC and database. That's it. So module EKS. That's it. That's all. Source is equal to. Next, we also need to supply the inputs. Okay, so let's try to give the subnet reference for each var.eks. Done. For each var.eks. So we also need to supply the values, which are so not values, inputs. Okay, this is no longer needed. main subnet reference. So I just want to create them on the top of the app subnet, as I mentioned. So we are going to create everything. EKS will be coming on the top of it. Your database instances will be coming on the top of these machines. Okay, let's try to write it. MongoDB, MySQL, Redis, and RabbitMQ. Done. Okay. Next thing. For each var.eks. So main.df should be good. Variable var.eks. So we really don't need web app, these three. Okay. Get rid of them. All I need is variable EKS. That's it. Now you don't see that error. So for each, done. Next, we also don't need these inputs. Okay, so I think I already removed it, right? Again, so front end is also not really needed. Okay, I don't need database servers are needed. App servers I really don't need. Done. What are all needed? Load balancers are also something I don't need. VPC information needed. Peering VPC is needed. DB servers are needed. MongoDB, Redis, and EKS. That's it. Now, and again, I don't need these many subnets, by the way. Now I don't need web subnet, but we'll keep it as is. Okay, we don't use it, but let's leave it. Okay, let them get provision. We don't use it. Okay, done. So subnet IDs is equal to module.network like this. Module.subnets of each dot value of subnet reference dot subnets. Okay, module EKS. So and var.env subnet IDs is equal to module of network, and then VPC, and inside the subnets each dot value of subnet reference. That means I want to supply. See, if I have two subnets, I want to supply both the subnets. Okay. Okay, done. So module of VPC. That should be it. Since I'm using this, you also need to declare it as an input inside the EKS module. Okay. Now you don't see the error. Variable env is also declared. Next is IAM policy. Let's try whether my account is still working or not. If not, we'll come on. I already paid, if you see. We'll tune something and we'll take a pause, okay? Because we cannot test. Okay, so let's go to IAM. Go to the IAM rules. So we have allow session token service is done. EKS rule. These two are also done. And again, I have not mentioned the version, which version to use. Okay, that's also something I want to tune it. AWS EKS versions. So what is the latest version? I think 1.30. So 1.30 is the latest. So let's try to use it. So go here and try to supply that as an input. In future, if you get a brand new version, you can still change it. Okay. Done. Let's say done. Component name is equal to h.key. Everything is sorted. So even here I have mentioned it, component name var.t. That should be it. Again, this EKS cluster example, I really didn't like it. So what I want to do is I'll just say EKS role. EKS role, that's it. So it should have everything. Now we also need to supply the role to the cluster. Okay, which we already supplied. Okay. EKS underscore role, which we already supplied. So this I don't want. Let's get rid of it. Let's keep it simple. Okay, so I don't want to print the output as well. Okay. Git add dot git commit hyphen adding EKS df. Push. Okay, now this should provision the cluster, but also one more thing. I just want to change the state. Okay. RoboShop EKS/dev. I just want to change this. Okay, because when we switch between the branches, I don't want to create unwanted mess. RoboShop EKS dev, RoboShop.taste. I also want to do the same here as well. Done. One more thing, keep in mind, you cannot use version. Okay. EKS version, we need to supply, right? How can we supply the version? So you cannot use the version, desired Kubernetes master version. So version to use, okay, you cannot use version. Version is a keyword. Where dot EKS. Okay, so let's try to supply the value of your choice. Where does EKS cluster version? Okay, guys, if you use version, it troubles you because version is a reserved keyword from Terraform. So you cannot use it. Okay, keep the point into mind. So next main. So inside the done. So this is also done. So we also need to supply the EKS version, EKS cluster version, main file. Done. Okay, so FMT should have it. Version. You also need to supply the version value in case in future if any new version comes up, don't use version. So instead just use this. Done. Now this should provision you the needed EKS cluster. Okay. That's it. This should provision the cluster. Next is node groups. I really don't want to proceed because without seeing how it works, what it works, I don't want to bluntly go and proceed. I'll just take a pause. Okay, so I think before we connect in the next session, my account will be completely activated. Okay. So yeah, any questions, anyone? Okay, we'll again meet on Monday. Okay, so Monday before we join the session, I'll bring up the app which is available on the top of the other branch. Okay, so this whatever I have to show on the top of this branch is still due from my end. It is working. Yesterday after the session, I destroyed and recreated it, but the output of this I have not shown it. Okay, I'll just show this to you. Okay, before I proceed on this, I'll just try to get this done. Okay, and also if you see this .terraform, .modules, everything are coming here, right? If I don't want to ignore, if I want to ignore these things, what you can do is you can use something called as git ignore. Okay, so there is a file called as a git ignore file. So here you have already git ignore. Where is that? I don't find it. You can mention this. If you mention, nothing will be coming up. Okay, but why these are coming? Maybe these are something that came up even before it. Do you have the git ignore file here? Yes. Okay, recently included. Okay. Git add dot. What are the files that you don't want Git to consider? You can put them so that Terraform is not going to consider it. Okay. That should be it. Tomorrow, if I come, I should get everything ready. Okay. So at least for the cluster. All right. Any questions on this, anyone so far? Rachit, Mahendra, Murdula, Girisha, any questions? Any questions, anyone? I thought of not taking session today, but if you take multiple sessions, it's really not good. So, okay, just to give a recap, we are going to provision the cluster. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, that's it. That's for today, and we're gonna take a pause for now. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can stay on. If not, we are good.